So section 2.4 is on compound interest. We have a few definitions here. Compound interest is money earned on the money deposited plus previous interest. Annual compounding is interest compounded once each year. Semi-annual is interest twice per year or every 6 months. Quarterly is interest compounded 4 times or every 3 months. Daily is compounded every day. And the term crediting, this is interest that is deposited into your account. So if you need to pause for definitions, please do so. Example 1 says Jerome deposited $3,700 in a certificate of deposit that pays 6.5% compounded annually. How much interest does Jerome earn in 1 year? We're going to use our simple interest formula, which is I equals PRT, where I was your interest, P is your principal, R is your rate, T is your time in years. So 3,700 times 0.065 times 1 gives you $240.50. Number 2, Pierre deposits $9,000 into a CD that pays 8% compounded semi-annually. How much interest after 6 months? Again, same formula, I equals PRT. So 9,000 times 0.08 for 8% times 6 over 12, because remember T is in years. So there are 12 months in 1 year, so 6 divided by 12. Multiply all three together, and you get $360 in interest. You take that interest and add it to the money that you originally deposited, so 9,000 plus 360 gives you a total balance of $93.60. Number 3, Regina deposits $3,500 into a savings account that pays 7.5% interest compounded semi-annually. So we're going to do interest equals principal times rate times time. So 3,500 times 0.075 for 7.5%. It's compounded semi-annually, so that's every 6 months, so 6 divided by 12 would be your T, or your time. Multiply it all out, you get $131.25. The balance at the end of the first 6 months would be your $3,500 that you put in, plus the interest that you just earned, $131.25. Add the two together, $3631.25. How much interest does the account earn the second 6 months? Well, for this one, you're going to use your new balance of $3631 as your principal. So $3631.25 times the 7.5% times the 6 over 12 gives you a new interest of $136.17. Your new balance at the end of the year after the second 6 months is your $3631.25, what you started with at the halfway point, plus your new interest of $136.17 for a new balance of $3767.42. How much interest does the account earn the first year? Well, you add up your two interests. So you're going to add up your $131.25 and your $136.17 for a total of $267.42. How much interest would $3,500 earn in 1 year at 7.5%? So instead of doing it semi-annually, we're going to do it annually. So 3,500 times 0.075 for 7.5% times 1 for T for 1 year. That's $262.50. Well, you will notice now that the difference for G, the difference between those two, you're going to take your $267.42, you're going to subtract your $262.50, which gives you a difference of $492. So you'll see that semi-annually you'll get more money than you would annually. Number 4, Janine opens a savings account with a deposit of $720. The account pays 3.4% interest compounded daily. What is the day's first interest? Now round to the nearest cent. So there are 365 days in a year. So again, I equals PRT. 720 is your P, so you deposited. Your interest rate is 3.4, so 0.034 times 1 over 365 because we are looking for the first day's interest. So 1 over 365 gives you 7 cents worth of interest. Okay, number 5 is referring to page 94, number 10, which is off to the side here. Okay, it says Jacob opens a savings account in a non-leap year on August 10th with a $45.50 deposit. The account pays 4% interest, compounded daily, so that's 365 days. On August 11th, he deposits $300. On August 12th, he withdraws $900. Find the missing amounts in the table. Okay, so opening balance on August 10th is $0. Okay. The deposit was $4,500. So for part B, $4,500. All right. Letter C, principal used to compute interest, $4,550. D, days interest rounded to the nearest cent. So interest equals principal rate time. 4550 times 0.04 for 4% times 1 over 365 because it's compounded daily. Multiply those three out, you will get 4550.50 for your ending balance. Now on August 11th, the next day, he starts with 4550.50. Okay, he deposited $300, so you're going to add $300. He did not have a withdrawal. Okay, principal used to compound interest is 4850.50. That's adding these two together. So add that plus that gives you that. Okay, to find your compound interest equals principal rate time. So 4850.50 times 0.04 for 4% times 1 over 365, compounded daily. So that's 53 cents of interest. So 4851.03 is your new ending balance. Now go back up to K at the top. The next day he starts with 4851.03. Okay, he ended on the 11th with it. He starts on the 12th with it. There is no deposit. Okay, there is no deposit. All right. So for part L, he withdraws $900. So you're going to take your 4851 and you're going to subtract your 900, which gives you a new balance of 3951.03. 3951.03. Okay. Use that number to compute your interest. So 3951.03 times 0.04 or 4% times 1 over 365 because it's compounded daily gives you 45 cents worth of interest. Or I'm sorry, 43 cents worth of interest. Add the interest to your ending balance for a final balance of 3951.46. Okay, so I'm just going right down the columns. When you end with E, you start the next column with that same ending balance.